Hello, and thank you for joining me on 8 I Am Maggie. I really appreciate your support. So, what we've been doing here is the Creativity Challenge it came off of the Brian Scott RealityCon 3 conference. And so, one of our challenges was on creativity. So, I decided to be posting videos in the 30-day creativity challenge on encouraging things, challenging things, and what have you. And so today we are on day 15, and the subject that I wanted to challenge you on today is I want to challenge you to not run from suffering. Okay, so I don't pretend to have all the answers or to be perfect, but we're all on these journeys together. We are connected in the quantum field, and sometimes that quantum connectivity sometimes makes you the higher vibration that's going to actually lift someone up. Okay, and it can go the opposite way too. You can be higher, come into a lower vibration, and be brought down. But the bottom line is we're all in one big quantum wave, and so we are all part of the process of moving up that scale of consciousness. And one of the things that does happen when you come to Earth School is there can be, I talk about spectrums a lot, but it could be a little suffering or a lot of suffering. So sometimes, I would work with clients and people would share their stories. I've heard many very extreme stories as being a nurse, and also just in general when people can tell that you are a grounded, caring, loving person. A lot of times that brings people in need of that momentary compassion, positivity, love, and upliftment. But the bottom line is I've seen a lot of things. Sometimes I've seen just very extreme, like loss of loved ones through sudden and bad things, rape, beatings, all kinds of things. I've seen body parts ripped off and stuff like that. And then you also have somebody that maybe for them it's maybe they fell down or broke a nail. And I remember one time somebody telling me, gosh, Maggie, I feel so bad talking to you about, this when it's not as bad as that. And I said to them, you are on your own journey on this planet. And so you are experiencing your own experience. And if for you, a splinter in your finger is the worst pain that you've ever met or had in your life, met with in your path, then I'm going to stand here, listen to you, and hold you as we evolve you. We're going to get the splinter, we're going to locate the splinter, and we're going to remove the splinter, we're going to clean the site, and we're going to, patch you up. If that's the worst kind of pain, it's still your pain, your path, and something that you have to evolve upon. If I meet somebody and they're on the other level of the spectrum, and like they've lost a loved one, that's going to require a whole different level of support. Everybody copes with things differently. I think that's what's super important as we are, evolving in our spiritual process. The more that we are trusting in God, the source, that universal spirit that is within us and surround us, we have this knowing that there is a bigger play going on here. So I want to encourage you that while you're in that bigger play, and we are all serving roles, I want to encourage you to not run from your suffering. Because as I've grown in my life, I've really learned that in the face of suffering, we get to see like the phoenix burning. There's coals in the ash there that we can actually pick up. That's wisdom. It becomes our superpower. It becomes the fire that burns within and without, helping to cleanse oneself and others. And it's a holy type of fire. It's not something that burns or consumes somebody in a way that they don't exist. It's something that elevates, cleanses, and lifts. Like, for instance, it's like being in a spiritual spa, right? Or when you go to spa, you might soak in the different types of spa rooms. There might be dry, there might be wet, and you might, do different types of detox with the steam, but you're purifying. It's that kind of fire. And so I just want to encourage you. This is another thing. We do not use the tools to hurt one another. But I just want to continue to encourage you that if you are suffering right now, and many of the people that I am working with and talking with are suffering in some capacity, I want you to turn into it and lean into it, and also lean into your Creator, who you know is walking you through this to ultimately give you skills, tools, wisdoms, and basically superhero abilities to help the masses. Because right now, people are at so many levels of pain and suffering, and we need to learn to be with that, but also try to find what the lesson in that suffering is. So I just want to encourage you. So kind of, I want to just share this is in Hawaii, we have had issues. The Navy has poisoned our largest aquifer, and then we just had another release of this firefighting foam that is basically like liquid cancer. And so here we are. We can try to positively affirm it and ignore it. So, okay, I'm reading also Uncertain Places with Mitch Horowitz. And there's a part that really inspired me to dig into my spiritual practice and to use that to face what challenges I'm going through and others are going through here in Hawaii. But I just want to say that, as we're going, we could just turn a blind eye and pretend it's not happening, or we can face the pain, we can face the suffering, and we can look at it and say, okay, how do I hold love and light in this situation? What can I do? And in that, I'm not going to run from my suffering. I'm not going to run from my pain. And also, I want to do what I can so long after I am an ancestor, I have done what is the good and beautiful works of the Creator. So, and as we know, we're all playing parts in this life. So let's play them well. All right, well, I want to thank you so much for joining me. If you have pain and suffering going on, please lean into it with your Creator, knowing that there's a lesson, there's wisdom, there's a plan in it, there's superheroes in it, superpowers in it, and that you are going to be able to come back and have a better day. And while you're at it too, we all know, many of us know about Emoto's work with water. We know about how water is living and it hears us. So let's all speak into the water on Oahu, Hawaii. Let's speak to the water around the world to heal itself, and that we love it. And let's see what comes forth from that. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I am Maggie, and I know you're having a wonderful morning, evening, midday, night. All right, thank you. And you know what's next. Peace in, peace